So we're here now. We're going to talk about yielding the hind end under saddle. And if you just watched our video about yielding the hind end on the ground, a lot of it's going to be the same, but we'll just go through it under saddle because it's slightly different, but it does the same thing. So basically yielding the hind end on the ground under saddle is just you're disengaging. It comes in later on with things like side passing and I don't know the dressage terms for a side pass. Maybe Alicia knows.
Leg yield?
Leg yield, oh yeah, that could be it. I know side pass and leg yield are slightly different, but I won't go into details because I don't know anything about it. So the disengaging is now getting the horse to use their body under saddle the same way that they do when you do it in the groundwork, except it's from a standstill. So you are simply going to bend their head around. See that good lateral flexion? And then you're going to slide your leg back, just barely touch them, and then they're going to step over behind. Just keep going there for a second so that I can get some good feet shot. Yeah, there you go, that's good. And you want to see them step over behind nice and deeply and really yield their hind end. You're not wanting them to run their shoulder out. You're not wanting them to drop their shoulder. You want them to step both their front feet nice and forward in forward motion, and you can tell the difference when they're not doing it. See right there, he's stepping forward with both his front feet. He's not running his shoulder out. He's not falling in or anything like that. He's stepping forward with both of his front feet, yet his hind end is stepping around in a circle much larger than what his front feet are doing. So that is yielding the hind end or disengaging. The reason we do that is because it teaches them that we get to have control of their hindquarters with our leg, and it's the start of where they start developing their abdominal muscles and their core muscles to be able to be strong enough to do lead changes and lead departures and be responsive to those requests correctly and softly without being resistant or rigid in any way.
And then the bend to a stop incorporates that.
Yes, go ahead and continue what you're saying.
Well, in order to have a good bend to a stop, you have to have a good disengage. If you don't have a good disengage, then you can't have a bend to a stop. Because they have to be able to be soft laterally. Laterally. And they have to respond to your leg in case they're not soft laterally. And they have to be able to bend through the rib cage in order to get that bend in the body. I may not have said that right while I'm writing.
No, you said it very well, actually.
Oh, good.
And the point is, that's why we do our lateral flexion and our disengaging before we ever go anywhere. Because if they don't have good lateral flexion and they don't have a good disengage, you will not have any bend to a stop. So if you start asking them for more speed and the proverbial hits the fan, you're lost. You've got nothing because you don't have a bend to a stop and they don't know how to step over behind, so they're not going to be able to come down mentally when you do bend them to a stop.
And just to add to that, if you don't have good lateral flexion at the standstill, a good disengage at the standstill, you're not going to have it good at the walk, the trot, or the canter. So Amadeus is good at the standstill. So the walk was great, so I could move on to the trot to see if that was good, and if that was good, then I could move on to the canter. But I wouldn't do any of those. I wouldn't do the trot, the walk, trot, or canter unless the standstill was good.
Perfect. See you guys next time.